Hey everyone. Hi Pisces. Okay, so anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. And anyone returning, hi. Now, excuse me. There were a few things, Pisces, that I've been thinking about. But I sense that most people on Opal Oracle watch their moon, sun, what have you. So I sense that those that will find it will find it. Those that do not will not. Whatever it is that we're seeking, we always find on the path, right? So that's that. There is one question for everyone to think about, and that I want to share is... if the internet didn't exist, what would you do? Like, think about this in a broad term, okay? Broad. This didn't want to get picked up. It's 9 of Wands. Let's see here. The World on the bottom. All right, Pisces for August. We have a full moon in your sign at the end of the month. Pisces, August. Good, that 9 of Wands. All the cards are in the upright, but it stayed in the reverse and it's right in the center. That's good. Remember that reading? I knew this was going to happen. It's been happening for a while now, but that's why I couldn't record for those of you who have been around. But the reading you had, walls, why so many? What was that, last September, maybe? You might want to go back and watch that, okay? Now, just a second, please. Kind of got a headache. It's Mars in retrograde's kind of a lot. Okay. You want to make sure that you got your reactionary situations in check. I see that there's something that you're going towards, like something's being offered to you from God. Right? That has a serious stability. Okay? You know that the reason why this is because, well, something's still ending at this point in time. And there's something that there's something that you're still afraid to change. And it has to do with Mars, okay? I see that after Mars goes direct, you'll be feeling better, okay? I see that the walls, why so many, is a real thing, and that you're figuring it out, right? Like you're starting to figure out, like, where you're tight about things, where... like what the formula is that causes you're kind of figuring out, like, okay, where do I really block myself in ways of succeeding, in ways of starting something new, okay, in ways of realizing that putting more or taking off of the plate is not a bad thing. It's just that's just natural, okay? I see that your ego really wants something in one way, and in another way, like your higher self is saying to you, that there's something really off about it, okay? And you're trying to figure it out through your feelings on how it is that you feel. But I sense ever since Cancer season, there's some sort of trickling down into again, there's some sort of spiritual path and understanding that there is victory within it, okay? Very much so. And whatever it is that's completing, it's very victorious in you being able to align your energy appropriately, okay? Because right now I see that, bodily speaking, you're uptight about, well, I see that you might be uptight about money during this time. You could also be uptight about your own self-worth and giving yourself a little bit less, whether that's those of you who are married, those of you who are not married anymore. I also see those who have been like recently started living with someone. It's like something changed in the home, and so it's kind of throwing it off and being like, all right, now I feel like you feel like you have to go one way or the other, but the reality is your heart is letting you know that you're not quite feeling the way that you're feeling about things right now is not quite clear. I also see with any of you who are trying to like look for a job or start a new business, it's like, you know, that the skills that you have, right? This God-given gifts that you've received, as well as just your talents through the amount of energy and time you've put into something. However stressful that may have been, like, you're at this point now, right? But it's sort of like, okay, maybe it's kind of like, I see you losing sleep over it too, like, just stressing about it in your mind, okay? It's Jupiter and Scorpio, you know? There's only 4 months left. Then we go into Sagittarius. It's important what we've been doing the last 9 months, okay? That's what this new moon is about, really, is like, you know, it's about a 9-month marker from when Jupiter went into Scorpio. So it's the birth of some, right? The patience and the time to go into growing and putting energy into something so that it can manifest in the physical world. You know, like something, and hopefully destroying it completely so that it doesn't come back again, right? Like, you don't have to, I heard you don't have to destroy every aspect of yourself because you're changing. And Scorpio also had something about this, so I think also Uranus just makes a collective kind of message, you know? We're starting to figure that out. I see that your 9th house is amplified here in ways of whatever this God-given gift is. I also see that whatever God is giving you, whatever Mother Nature is giving you to create with, right? In the physical world too. It's like something that's already kind of, I heard, happened in a sense, or is happening. You know, you have the ability to succeed within that, but you have to decide, okay? And with Mercury in retrograde, I would say that there's no need for you to settle on anything just yet, like totally intertwining and completely solidifying any kind of deal yet, because you're still working through your feelings, okay, about it. In ways of that, you must, you know, you have strength here, which is awesome during Leo season. It is Leo's card and it rules the heart. But it's just an advice, okay? Like, what it says is that you need strength during this time. You need to know your own strength, and I see in a way that your energy right now is being, all your energy right now is being put into your home, It's being put into whatever it is that's deconstructing in your life, and that's exhausting, right? I see also energetically, your own energetic body is lacking energy, okay? The heat, Mars in retrograde, all these chemtrails, all this like in the air, it's really a lot on our bodies, okay? Mercury in retrograde, it's a lot going on, okay? So, but things are moving forward, and that's good, okay? Just a minute. A headache. Super sensitive right now. Lilith and Capricorn too, it's a lot. It's a lot, you know. So, I do see that you have more options than you think that you do. Like, you have more opportunity to how do I want to say it? I want to see how to fix these emotions, or how to help them, because it's throwing me off every time I see the card Six of Cups, which is again another like retrograde sort of card. Any of you? Okay, so we're talking about like, all right, what happened in the past? What happened in the past? That is still unchecked, okay? Things in the past, I see specifically for a lot of you, relationships and people that you were sexually involved with. It's like things that you thought were really successful, but then they became really frictional. You know, and then became really imbalanced through that. And then something just stopped moving, right? It could have kept growing, but it stopped moving. Now, I see this as the past and what it is, again, that you're considering. But it's relating to now, okay? Specifically, the first sword card to come out is the Six of Swords, okay? It's kind of like this and this is like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? When are we going to be there? Should I just get out and walk? It seems like it's taking forever. I feel like I could get there faster myself. You know, and the thing is that well, patience is needed. Patience is needed. It is necessary, okay? I see that you should trust yourself about, or rather, I'll take that back. It's going to be hard. It's going to be kind of hard to trust yourself during this time, okay? Your intuition is not going to be really on point. It's kind of like, it's not to say that you won't still be able to utilize it, but when it, like maybe for others, right, because you help others so much, but it's like for yourself, I see that your energy is like high. It's either really high or it's really low, and it's because you're still holding on to You know, it may seem so simple. But the same anxiety, depression, money issues, marital status, like emotional well-being, emotional maturity, patience, all that you get from your parents, okay? I see for a lot of you from your mama, okay? I see that she was defensive. And God knows that. You asked for it, though, when you signed up. But that doesn't make it any easier, because most of the time we don't remember asking for it. And then we're like, dear Lord, why did you give me this? You know, we're always asking why this is, but we already picked it. So it's important to remember that, okay? Like, I also see for any of you who, there's just two different kinds of folks here that are trying to kind of coexist. And these two cards came out again. And the thing is like, one person is concerned about, like, one person's really interested in like sex and fun and external energy, and but really it has a lot to do with like sex. It has a lot to do with the physical aspects of passion. And then the other person is like more concerned about money. They're concerned about stability. They're like, it's kind of like, I don't care about, like, I heard, I'll love you regardless, but where are we going and what is it worth? And I heard, is it worth it to me? I see that you don't know at this time. I see that you're fighting yourself in your head about it. Somebody else just got this too. Taurus, Capricorn energy. Who was that? Leo. But you know, I possess and I use. So I see that someone uses possessions to, like, they use possessions to get what it is that they want. And it's unhealthy. Okay? You can't grow in that situation. I also see that you're going to be very sensitive during this time, okay? But I just pulled on the High Priestess because I wanted to know. Because she's so silent. And this is what came out. The World, the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Wands, and the Judgment. The World came out earlier, remember? King of Cups on the bottom, Scorpio, right? Your inner dialogue of your mind about how it is that you're feeling right now is so kind of in the wrong space. I see that you really have a high possibility of kind of trampling a blessing in a way. Like I heard something's on its way for you, like in a good way. Like there's some sort of excitable energy that's like, yes, I'm so ready to leave this behind, and I'm excited to go to this next thing. But you have to go in the past to be able to find the thing. Okay? I see that you go from the World all the way to the 10. So that's 11 moves on the chessboard. That's justice. It's Libra's card. Okay? It's about karmic justice. Then we have communication. We have forward, like, energy. I see whatever it is that you want to end, you have to ask God to help you. You have to ask God to help you with this decision that you're making, specifically about these big feelings that you're having and like what it is that you're supposed to do with them. Because honestly, I don't think you can ask yourself right now. It's just like, it's not, it's, you keep coming back to this position. It's like, okay, I want to do this. Like, I'm thinking about all it is that I want to do, right? This Ace of Wands. And it landed on the Six of Wands. It's a high possibility of something really succeeding. Right beneath the Ace of Pentacles, definitely. Awesome. But beneath all that is the Seven of Cups. We're just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it because whatever's happened in the past, I don't trust it. Okay, is it genuine? Is it not? Is it genuine? Is it not? You had one cup to the Six of Cups. What do you get? Your little cup of love where you get a whole bunch of I don't knows. And I feel like that's what this is. It's like, I almost feel like you're holding on to the past. And the one behind you is actually the new one. So you kind of, again, you have to go into the past to be able to find it. Now, these cards were kind of messy. Hold on a second. This one just stuck its head out. The Empress. The Empress. Mother Nature. I see that you need to be in Mother Nature more often. Okay? I'm going to put it plain because I have to, and I guess unconsciously I made a contract with Scorpio, Jupiter and Scorpio, to help the collective figure out this situation. But really, like, sexual trauma, okay? It affects your family life now. It affects your self-worth still. You know, because we can say the whole, like, oh, that doesn't bother me anymore. Oh, that doesn't bother me anymore. I completely, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. What are you talking about? It's not fine. Especially when we're doing two people with two Five of Cups equaling the Ten of Cups. Mathematically, sure, that's correct. Logically, emotionally healthy? No, not at all. You know, but that's why we end up with people, is to have a reflection so that we can learn. I see whatever's transiting your second and your, whatever's transiting your fifth, your eighth, and your 10th house is important. Okay? Yeah, it's affecting you, like, energetically and emotionally so heavy. Like, this is Cancer's card. We're still pulling from Cancer season, okay? I heard you can't go back and have the conversation that you want to have with, like, you're not going to receive the apology that you want in this physical dimension. But what you can do is go back in your mind with your adult self and whatever hurt you, whether it's when you were a kid, when you're a teenager, last week, that chick at your, you know, at work, or the person that cut you off. It's just like, go back there and change the situation. Change the way that you reacted to it. You know, change the way that the other person responded to you. It's not delusional. Otherwise, all you're doing is unconsciously, subconsciously holding onto that pain. And the thing is with Scorpio and why it's coming out so strong, and it is the truth of the matter, is that like when humans as a whole don't deal with our subconscious, it goes to Scorpio and they have to deal with it. Okay? I see for a lot of you that what you're really deciding is that, like, do you want to be in this, do you want to be in a relationship with this or not? Do you see eye to eye with this situation? And I see that you just don't know, and honestly, you shouldn't be making any decisions just yet, okay? Don't be having any heavy, hardcore conversations while Mercury's in retrograde and you can't even decide how it is that you feel. It's really strong, okay? It just keeps saying it over and over and over. Because I sense that if you try to make a decision now, with everything that's going on, specifically whatever's going on with Capricorn, I see again the 10th house, it's like, you have a wonderful opportunity here to begin something brand new that's really stable, okay? That's full of creation and passion and deep emotion and just, you know, and not that it doesn't have its heavy parts, but I see that where people are like on the same page of wanting to be like, it's okay, like I feel the same way, like what do you need? You know, what do you need? And because I just feel like your mind, it's Cancer, okay? It's like, and I know we're in Leo season now, but it's Cancer season still. The crab's still attached to your pant leg, okay? And it's your head and your heart. You know, it's your mind and your emotions, and it affects the inner child, okay? Look at that. Creepy. You know? Could be deciding something too between like what water and earth means, like it's like a different, you're comparing elements, like, okay, these two things together, what does that mean? Okay, and then we're going to take these two things and put these together, and what does that equal? It's like little experiments to kind of see, like, I guess during this time you should be doing experiments, okay? You should be, I see that and part of those experiments should be when you're about to react, when you're reacting to something emotionally, mentally, verbally, like, especially this Mars in retrograde, especially if you have like a, you know, like a strong, you know, you got your Mars in a fire sign, then you're going to be really confrontational, okay? You're going to basically, it's a high possibility of flying off the handle and kind of, yeah. It's like your inner child takes the role of the emperor. And what is that? But a really not well thought out disaster, okay? You give a child a machine gun, what's it gonna do, you know? Now I know all the things that have happened to you. And Pisces, your mother's actually always come up since last year also, but I see that you're fixing that, okay? And that is a part of what you're changing. Now, again, because we just came out of Cancer season, it's pulling it, okay? I see that you're going to be gaining in your money soon, so don't worry about that. I know you were a little concerned in the beginning, like, do I have enough, like, do I have enough to do this? Do I have enough energy, time, money to do this? Do I have, is it worth it? You know, is this really going to grow? Is this actually expanding? I heard, is this enough? And I see that it's hard for you to want to combine forces because the times that you've done it before, it didn't pan out, okay? Like, people didn't have the same ideas that you did about what it is that you wanted to create, so it grew some and it moved forward, but then it would just like kaput, you know. And I don't necessarily seeing that as now. I actually see you working towards, well, bettering yourself and figuring out that, like, well, just viewing life in a way that's kind of like, well, I can sit here and I can boo-hoo about what it is that isn't working, all the little things that you want to pick out to why it isn't working and how it could be going faster and whatever, or you can appreciate what it is that's being given to you right now from others that is emotionally stable, because I see that, yes, because I see that you necessarily don't feel like that right now, you know. And I know in Leo season it's hard to like kind of reach out, especially when you're feeling like you don't even know how you feel, you know. And again, you didn't have any swords originally, so it's like you're not communicating about it, right? Really. There's a lot that you're hiding actually in your mind. But let's get some practical advice when you feel like that. Obviously, get out in nature. Let's have some advice for Pisces. Don't decide anything big about your relationships right now. Your relationships, your partnerships with work, with people, whatever. Your home, like all that jazz. Your marriage, contracts, all that stuff. Just take it easy. Take it easy, Pisces. I mean, the thing is everything will work out as it's supposed to anyway. And I see you healing from what it is that has happened in the past. Okay? I see you building new structures to your energetic response to things, particularly when your emotions are huge. I see that, yeah, you're learning about, like, okay, why do I, when I have a whole bunch of emotions, why is it that it feels overwhelming? You know, like, what is it really? Because it's not that the dishes are dirty. It's not that no one took out the dogs. It's not that that person is driving slow in front of you. And it's certainly not, you know, I heard that your library book is late. It's about whatever happened when you were, I'm going to put it plain. I guess I do a lot of childhood regression in my readings, and I didn't really realize what I was doing, but I guess that's what I'm doing. And I know that that's heavy, and I'm going to consider trying to ease it a little bit because, I mean, I'm sorry. My Saturn placements just, it makes me be in a position of like, it's just, I get to the root of it. Mercury in Scorpio, Mars in Sagittarius, it's a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. You do have to examine the family, though. I mean, you just have to. I see the way that the passiveness, passive aggressive of your mother, father, of the male-female communication factor is a direct response of what you learned as a child. And it's not doing you any good. Okay. But again, I see that whatever happens, happens. Okay? I guess, you know, maybe you do make a decision now. I see maybe you may, and it'll be big, and it'll be strong, and it'll be one-sided, and that's the end of the story, carved in stone, written in blood. End of story. This is that kind of decision. Okay? Let's see if you make that decision. I see that you make that decision. And I see that you'll probably make that decision. A decision will be made. Something having to do with your 10th house. Something having to do with the fear and the addictions that run through your bloodstream, through your bloodline. You still carry it, and you have to think about it, because if you don't, I see that you're going to destroy something. And again, karmically, whatever happens is supposed to happen. You know, there are no wrong moves in life, but we can... There are no wrong decisions, but there are easier ones. But the thing is, with Saturn, especially Saturn retrograde, Saturn in Capricorn, it's like no lessons are really going to come easy. Okay, and if we actually try to take the easy route, well, then what we're actually doing is you're cheating on the test. And it's like Saturn's your teacher, and you get caught. You know? Because the thing is you don't have to cheat. Okay? You don't have to cheat. You can just have a conversation from your deepest, most sensitive place, expressing that when you're on top and when you're on bottom, okay? And what it is that you want in this life. What is it that you want? You have to, specifically with your mate, you gotta tell people what it is that you want, because if you don't, they don't know. They can't work on making it any better. Now, if you ask them to do something and they're not putting in the work, well, then I see, make a decision. But try not to make, I really see not making a decision about any kind of partnership, contract, whatever. Until like late September, early October, okay? Like basically Libra season. Like, give it some time. You know, do you, work on you. You know, don't let that stress you out, because I see that when you're mentally stressed out, emotionally stressed out, energetically drained, well, then all your other resources deplete. Okay, Uranus and Taurus. We have to revolutionize the way that we restore our energy. Okay, the way we replenish our energy. I see you're super sensitive in your home, though. It's like, and home being your body, too. Like, there's just something about it. Like, maybe for some of you, there is some, just some old, like, sexual trauma, like, just old trauma. But I see it specifically for a lot of you having to do with trauma of the body. Okay? And that's not a joke. And if you're going through that, you can express to people, you know, like, I'm really sensitive in my feelings right now, and I'm kind of emotionally fragile. Okay? I need support in, I feel kind of imbalanced. I really need support in that. Okay? If you want to be around me, I need you to put more in. More energy, more time, more money into the situation to help, to be with me, especially any of you who are dating someone or people that are, again, emotionally connected to you. Okay, it's really important. It's really important, actually, to express that. You don't have to say everything that you're going through and tell all the gory details, but again, just let folks know that, like, I see this right now as emotionally fragile. Okay, it's also, I think it's Venus and Virgo, this card. Okay, because Leo, you know, strong and whatever, but underneath, a lot of Leos feel like this, okay, but they don't process it because they want to just be happy-go-lucky, which is cool. In a way, it teaches us how to do that. But it's also an example that, like, those that shine the brightest have the biggest shadow, right? The sun casts a lot of shadow. You know, people forget about that. They think the sun's so big and bright and da-da-da-da-da. The heliocentric model is run by a bunch of Satanists that praise the sun, you know, and see it as a really, like, powerful thing that has a lot to do with shadow. So it's just important to be aware. It's like you've been going through this since June, too. February to June, it's like you've been working through everything having to do with, like, your home, your marriage, your relationships with people, your early upbringing. Maybe some of you are considering, like, the end of life and, like, what that means. Do I have retirement? You know, stuff like that. It's heavy. It's, you know, it's life heavy. But once we work through it, then we don't have to look at it anymore, and these readings will change, right? Start talking about different things. Start talking about different things, new things that we want to do, right? Instead of stirring up the pot, we can just, I don't know, do something different. Make something creative, right? This is Pisces. This is your card. What do you do that's creative, that makes you happy? What music do you like that makes you dance? You know? What makes you feel like a kid? Like, that's so important to this process. Yes, it is so important in this process. I see that you need to hang out with your friends more. You're doing a little bit too much work, like serious stuff. There's so much, you know, underneath this was this. It's like there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the collective, okay? Shit. Whoa. Trippy. The candle just made like a wax bubble in the back. Wow, these are so long. 44, 22. It's an 8 and a 4. That's a 12. All right. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much. Really, I have to let you know, this Mars in retrograde, don't let it get the best of you, okay? Again, anybody that's got Mars in fire, cuidado, be careful, okay? Because it's not like anything's going to be drastic. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom, it's exactly the way that it's supposed to be, and whatever it is that you say will, you know, it will affect the future. So just be aware of that. And, you know, keep it real, but also understand that, like, you know, maybe just during this time, the Seven of Cups came up again. Maybe just during this time, also your Aquarius position could have a lot to do with this. Right now, the South Node is in Aquarius, okay, so, and in retrograde. So the point is that it's just, you're just healing emotionally. And I think all this unearthing of Jupiter and Scorpio is just, again, we're coming to the kind of close of it, okay? And so it's real deep. It's real deep. It's real deep, okay? But we can do it. And I see that when Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, you are going to be in a position that is extremely successful. Your relationships will be feeling better, like the way that you're feeling about yourself energetically will be feeling better. What it is that you can accomplish, like, in this world by, again, combining these different forces and, like, all these experiments that you'll be doing. It's like you'll have the knowledge, you know, that's what Scorpio's all about too, is like studying. You know, they love observing and like checking things out and just peering into it so deeply, you know. So take advantage of that, because we won't have this you know, we won't have this situation forever, right? These astrological placements, it's here to help us ground ourselves, Uranus and Taurus. Okay, revolutionize again, revolt, shake up all the ways that we've been so tied into who we are and what we're defined by through our ego, through the stories that we tell ourselves, whatever. The stories that we've been telling ourselves forever, the stories that other people told us of who that we are supposed to be. And you know what? You don't have to. This teenager is not having that story. Okay? No way. No way. They'll be like, maybe that's the way you remember it. But I've come up with a whole new idea. A whole new feeling about it. I no longer define myself as I am blank according to whatever happened to me in the past. No way. No way. No friggin' way, Jose. This is always Leo's card to me. It's my homegirl, Allie. I miss her. No way, Jose. Nope. And there you are. Okay? No way, Jose. I love this little, I always see it as a little artist. Alright, I love you. I just split the deck again. Okay? This was in your spread. You're fine. Okay? You may need to rest, though. You just came back from some sort of journey that had to do with spirit and God, and it was energetically draining. It was a lot. You were there by yourself, okay? At the very least energetically. So you got to give yourself time to rest, okay? I see you're trying to rush things, and it's just not time with all this retrograde, okay? 48, 48, there's 2 12s. The end. Peace.